It depends on the matchup, I guess. I think it's pretty good.
Nyx would
DP.
probably be an easier matchup for the Visage.
Well,
You know, thinking about it, actually,
No, it's mid.
Spectre kind of owns Visage in some ways. Or, sorry, Visage might own Spectre because you don't ever really want to. You're never getting a Manta or a BKB, right?
Yeah.
And he's just going to grave chill you.
Yeah.
And Spectre utilizes move speed and hiding in the trees, right?
And Desolate's never hitting you.
Yeah,
Yep.
like exactly, because you have birds on top of you at
Yeah.
all times. So you kind of actually just crush the hero. It's also not the highest armor, even though it's an agility hero. You're not, just walking around with 20 armor by 15 minutes. So he
Right.
gets medallion. There's a wolf HOD creep. Like you actually just kind of die in a grave
Builds
chill.
pipe naturally as well on
Yeah.
the side of the Visage.
Yep,
so
exactly.
like this also gives them this like team fight hero, Solar Crest pipe,
And-
Helm Dom.
You now have 3 naturally tanky cores. SVG once again on this just backline bot. This time with the Ags timing that makes this hero unstoppable. And then you have MSS Tusk running around the map making moves.
I actually
So-
don't see how LGD kills anyone.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking too. All of a sudden you look at their draft, you're like, wait, where's their damage?
yeah, that's what I was saying. It's
Okay.
like it's
So I'm
incredibly
sticking with
tough.
VGJ for this game.
Yeah.
It depends. If they
The
get
Visage
late
pick.
enough, if they ever get to a point where they have damage,
Yeah.
they should win the game.
Easily.
Right.
The thing is, you're
How do you
playing.
get to that point?
Do you really get to a point where you're better than a Coddle Ags timing? I feel like we've seen this game already, and it ended with VGJ just taking a super extended fight, and they win the game. It's going to be live through the song combo, don't get screwed by Haunt and Nyx pickoffs on your Gyro, Visage, Enigma, etc., and don't let maybe DP just like make 3 moves and take all your tier 1s.
I feel like Visage is a hero. I mean, he always is in my experience that he either dies easily, almost immediately, or he just never dies.
Yeah.
Right.
And this mid matchup's going to be critical as well. It's a Visage versus a Death Prophet. Arguably the 2 premier players for both sides. Maybe DP, Resolute, and Vicious.
And I think
A lot of
Visage's primary weakness is dealing with split push because he can't TP to places because his birds aren't there as well as his Helm of the Dominator creep, and they have none of that on the side of LGD, so I think that's even maybe what makes it an even better Visage game. But they do put it mid against the DP. Should be a little bit of a rough start for the Visage. He pretty much one of the weakest laners in the game until he hits level 6. But once he gets there, should have no issues.
Well, getting into the laning stage now for game number 1 of the grand finals. And up top, you can see FY already taking some harassment while they try and clear through these Eidolons. And that's the other part about this, just denying out creeps naturally by virtue of Sneyking.
Yeah, and I love playing Enigma in the offlane when you have something like a Tusk. Tusk, ET, Earth Spirit, something that can rotate out of your lane when you're not necessary because there's going to be creeps under tower at all times. But you also are very strong at securing counter kills and protecting this Enigma.
Because if the lane's already under your tower, or always
Yeah.
underneath your tower, your only fear is diving
Yeah.
or getting dove.
And he just stops pulls as well, because that's the main way you would actually recover this lane. You can see him; he's just gonna probably shards this Naga, prevent the pull, and he does exactly that. It's perfect. You just secure Snaking's lane. You're gonna get level 2, and then you can look to rotate wherever you want.
And you're going to win the lane because you're
Oh, yeah.
getting a free range creep deny every way.
Laying some extra damage there onto Resolution. He's going to salve up again. There's a lot of creep waves coming through. And top lane as well. Obviously, you're able to dagger through the shards. But another creep wave coming in, and that's happy times for VGJ Storm.
Rezo's actually winning the mid lane right now.
Yep.
Brave chill.
Typically not. I don't know. I've heard multiple things from different players. Personally, I think it's mostly even, and if anyone should be favored, it's the Death Prophet until Visage level 6.
Once he's 6, though, her lane's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
You just have no method of like pushing a lane as Visage, but if you utilize this Grave Chill as well as he is, like he's just outlast hitting.
He's
based on
also
his attack
doing the
speed.
Bassy trick as well, where he's turning it on and off to try and mess with her last hitting.
I don't know if I agree with this HOD hard rush. I feel like there's no reason not to get like a null or an Aquila, just so you keep up in damage with the DP, who's always going to be buying a double null. So now you're at a point, you're 63 damage on Rezo, that's not going to increase, and you're about to have like 76, 77 on the Death Prophet. 10 damage is pretty significant. These early game last hit wars. Bottom lane, going to be relatively even, but Coddle never really threatens a Nyx, because at any point he just carapaces the blast like he did just there.
Yeah. Although they are going to be able to get extra
Hero might
rocket
actually
barrage.
use that.
It's
They almost got that last
clicks.
Oh,
flag.
wait.
One more hit. Dodge away. xNova almost goes down, but lives through it.
Almost got that last flag off earlier on. That would have been enough.
While up top again, they're doing a good job of clearing through all of these Eidolons as well, since it's just level 2 right now. But as those get higher and higher levels, it's going to be more difficult.
And that's a good point. Like, the Enigma will slow the Spectre down, but if you feed Eidolons to him, like, you don't really mind anymore. And this hero, I don't even know. I feel like it's more of a goal-dependent carry, wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
VGJ?
I agree.
You don't really mind losing out on XP. You're not
not
looking
at
to
all.
haunt rotate until you have a certain amount of base items, so...
Yeah, exactly. And the one item usually is what speeds up her farm drastically compared to other carries, because a lot of carries have like innate farming tools while Spectre does not. So having that like initial burst of like even like phase boots or like go Helm of the Dominator, stuff like that, it drastically changes Spectre's game.
Your talents aren't that impressive either, specifically level 10. 15 desolate damage or 5 health regen. They're nice, but they're not like these game-breaking...
Late game is pretty nuts.
No
The 500
acceleration,
health
though.
is,
The no acceleration on her talents is quite
Yeah.
different. Like that, I think that's a lot of reasons why we see Spectre being so much more situational.
Exactly, and it's always because you don't have a talent that just covers your innate weakness, which is lack of damage.
Yeah.
You have to get the items to do so, but you don't actually have the tools because you said there's no flash farming.
MSS missed the shards there onto Somnus in the mid lane, but I don't know if they would have been able to kill anyways. But one level up right now, Resolution. He's a little bit behind this DP, which could become a problem.
And what's interesting too is like I feel like VGJ. I love the way they drafted, and so far it feels like there's no nerfs in their players, and part of that could just be obviously they're out of the running for an invite to TI, so they're playing with no pressure.
Right.
They might they
It's
could
a little
win.
bit of money on the line.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I don't think many Dota players, as absurd as the money is in the pool, like it's all about TI. So you want to win, but at the same time, MSS trying to make
Gets
a
the
play,
vision.
might get the deny off. He's going to. What a player, man. MSS sharding for vision, gets the deny on the golems.
Gives himself a pat on the back as well. That's important.
Yeah. It's all about the morale.
Nobody else told him, so he's got to tell himself.
Top lane by the Bounty Rune, and they're able to take that one away, Sneyking from FY, but FY will take a couple creeps for his trouble.
Also, no, they're rushing double HOD on Visage and Enigma. I actually don't know if LGD can ever take them in a team fight before they have like multiple items on their course.
Yeah.
Like there's no damage, and if
Yeah.
VGJ can just sustain, I think they'll hit a timing where they can just walk down a lane, and it's gonna be up to LGD to just avoid fights, get a ton of pickoffs with Haunt Nyx, mirror properly with DP rotations, and keep the game even until at least like 20 minutes.
Yeah, and DP's pulled quite far ahead in this mid lane. They might see some move made before Visage hits 6.
Bottom lane, they found themselves FY Chalice. They're trying to see if they can take down MSS. Snowball forward, see if he can finish him off with the flak. They will draw first blood. Now Chalice, Impale, is going to connect onto 2. xNova also taking some extra damage. YawaR able to hit him down, take him out, and with the stick charges live.
Surprised he doesn't have a second point in carapace at level 4 on the Nyx. I feel like it's like 2 value against these heroes, as we mentioned in the draft.
But he put 3 points in stun?
That's really odd to me as well. I feel like you picked the Nyx for the carapace.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that decision might come back to haunt him. I think you want max carapace by like level 8 in this game. It's just so powerful.
So we do need to watch for the timings of the Helm of Dominator too, because if you manage to get that out on Visage and Enigma before that 10-minute mark, the double catapults could be absolutely game-breaking for the amount of damage dealt
I
to
think
towers.
they have to make a move on Rezo, like now or never, because you're not going to get him when he has 6.
Bottom lane again, Chalice taking some more damage. MSS is there, and with that only 1 point in Carapace, he's going to end up going down again. Probably would have died anyways.
And it looks like FY might be looking to dive mid with this Somnus ultimate. Rezo is almost 6, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. Capitalize on this brief window, but he gets the 6.
Turn it back around. They have the snowball save. Pull him inside.
no.
It didn't quite happen in time, but they can still find a return kill onto Maybe.
Oh, he lost a bird, I think.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Man, that snowball was just a little too slow. I think if MSS just cast that a bit earlier, he waited to get into range of the Visage. If he just casts it right away and trusts Rezo to run back into it, I mean, a little bit of a miscue, but MSS Tusk, been a part of every kill thus far, already level 5. And we've seen him carry how many games with this hero?
Quite a few.
Yeah, a couple. And this gives the lane bottom to SVG, but he just took a lot of blast damage. And he's haunted. He lost like most of his health to the Carapace.
YawaR is here as well, and they're going to try and run down him, but
bad dagger.
Got to get the hell out of here.
If he gets the dagger on Gyro, they might be able to land that kill. But
That's Spectre level 6, while the Gyro's only level 4, so
Yeah.
that's something very important to note.
yeah, big play, because if you look top, Sneyking had just established control, and now he's going to be pushing the lane, but he's not pressuring yet, and he doesn't have that Helm of the Dominator, so it's a good time to rotate.
The Jakiro or something like that top. I think they should not put Spectre there. Maybe even the Naga for level.
He'll TP back.
Okay.
You just have to support the lane, because this tower is incredibly important to keep alive, and I think Spectre's like the only hero that can actually stand here. Nyx does nothing. You don't want DP to be sitting in the dead lane. You want him to be looking to make moves
Spectre's
and
not a
mirror the
douche
map.
shit hero at this
Yeah.
point in the game. I like the Treads build from Ame.
Yeah, same. Treads Aquila, like that's the base items on pretty much any agility hero. You can never really find a fault with them.
And it feels like they need to do that because they know this impending push with Helm of the Dominators are coming. You're getting real close to it on the Enigma, and the Visage already has his just about completed as well, with a couple of minutes before those siege creeps spawn. As Somnus going to get punched a few times, the bird lands, but
Top
not really
lane.
anything else.
They're going to look to make a move here. MSS is setting up, but he's actually going to TP to the shrine. They're looking to hunt the Jakiro right now. I don't know if I like this move. Even if you get this kill, is it worth the TP?
And now rooting away. It looks like the Enigma is going to be able to escape, but looking for that kill down bottom. They do find xNova, and they're going to actually give it to the
Gyro. Yeah, well played,
Gyro
well played.
as he's flacking.
It's actually super important that the carries get kills nowadays because the AoE gold seems really ineffective. And obviously that's just a support, so it's no big deal. But later on in the game, when people start getting streaks, the kill bonus becomes like 600. You don't want that to go to a Tusk.
Right.
And the Gyro, I mean, even though you say it's only a support, he's the same level as that Jakiro, so that's honestly a pretty important kill in my opinion, even if it's not the ideal kill.
Like 180 gold, that's like 3 creeps, man.
SVG gets impaled, gets punched, gets killed. That's the strength of the Nyx Assassin. Hitting level 6 mid lane. They're also going in for this one now. Is they're going to pop the ultimate yet again? The snowball save. Is this going to be good enough, though? I don't think so. With the call down coming in, resolution is going to fall. Now, can they find anything in turn? That's the DP living through everything. And YawaR down low. The ghost hits him just barely. Now, also, MSS might go down, trying to block it out with the shards, but the net is there again. And a triple kill for Maybe before he dies to MSS.
That's all space for the Ags.
There you go.
I mean, that's... God, Death Prophet just creates such like a pressure point on her lane.
Yep, 3 bounty runes as well for LGD just picked up. And I love what they do, though, because they kept the Nyx bottom that whole time, right? He just sat there. He got 2 waves of experience, 2 full waves just being pushed. So Gyro's getting nothing out of that. And they go mid and connect as 3. And that's what LGD loves to do. They planted the Spectre top, Nyx bottom, collapse mid as 3 around DPL. Yeah, maybe dies, but they create so much pressure. And like we said, it's all about just buying time.
Yep.
You want to use this DPL off cooldown. That's the second one in 10 minutes.
This
Sometimes
Visage
you're
has no
gonna see it losing
birds.
that time.
That's like the second time. Like, the last fight he lost 1 bird, and this time he has no bird. And Visage is not a hero without birds. That is his hero.
Yep, and now you see the double TP coming out. This is something I think VGJ might have wanted to do earlier. They have the HOD on Enigma, and you just group up and you push a tower with the Tusk behind him. And I don't even know if Gyro's necessary, but he's so weak now, as he's one of those cores that is very level dependent. He's just level 6.
And Spectre's going straight Radiance. I personally think this is the correct call.
Yeah.
I think he has the luxury. He could just take the 5 health regen at level 10, which means he can sustain while he's farming. And then you said we have damage issues.
Yep.
And if you hit that Radiance, honestly, before the Ags on Coddle, that could be a huge window.
Maybe you lose a fight, maybe you lose a Roche, but it means you're going to have a Radiance coming online around, what, like 18, 19 minutes?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you put a clock on VGJ. Hey, you've got to win the game because my second and third items, like I'm not buying Hood Blade Mail.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a Radiance and a Yasha. And all of a sudden I'm a
way,
threat.
like, suddenly Spectre can actually farm.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's almost always better to invest in items that allow you to accelerate early.
Only if you have the luxury to do so, but he absolutely does this game because of how slow the Gyro's game and even the Visage has been really knocked down. He's trying to pressure the mid lane with his Helmdom catapult, but...
Especially when VGJ, how slow have they been playing, right? They close out games with like 20k net worth. It's up top. Ame coming in on the Enigma.
They want to try and take this down. They've already killed off the Helm of the Dominator creep, and I think that's all they're trying to do right here. If Sneyking dies, it's all just a little bit of extra luck, and they do manage to find him there with the net. They had the song also, so a kill there while they were able to defend mid also.
You don't take a kill from Spectre, yeah.
Come on, bro. I like that, though, because look at where bottom lane is. This is Gyro taking dead creeps. In the meantime, Spectre just gets a nice little TP for free.
Yeah.
A free kill, Eidolons, 3 waves.
And Spectre's the hero that doesn't need to be doing anything right now, so she doesn't mind farming the passive part of the map. But Gyro, on the other hand, like you said, he wants to be active, so him farming the same areas as Spectre equivalently on the map is not equal at all.
Yeah, this is not going well for VGJ. They needed to be the team in the lead, and so far they have made... It feels like they've made absolutely no moves. They've just been responding to...
It's this DP. The
LGD.
pressure point in the mid lane, though, is the problem. Like, this Visage has been slowed down so much, they let the kill happen right before Rezo got his 6, and it's all kind of snowballed from there. That first kill happens, then the second kill happens, and suddenly you can't make any moves because DP is putting so much pressure on mid. Visage becomes a liability.
Yep.
And now they're going to collapse on top lane, possibly killing Enigma again.
Yeah, they're going to. They have high ground vision. There's a DP behind. Like, you can't do anything.
I mean, he does have Black Ball, but there's no way to make that happen. And mid lane, they're going to try and get a return kill onto the tower here as well. They're doing a good bit of damage, and you can sort of tank through this a little bit as the Visage But eventually, this is going to fall. So at least something for the death of that Enigma.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned. I like what Maybe does as well. Just this concept of, you know, buying items that allow you to stay on map. He almost always gets this Void Stone first. And a lot of times you'll see people get Staff of Wizardry when they're going for the ults, but he opts for the mana regen almost every game because it allows him to just spam Q and always be on map, always be shut.
Oh, and that is the reveal right there as well as they're trying to get it down. The blink from Chalice was able to find the kill, but now the turnaround. Oh, the sleep! They can TP out of here if they want to. Once the Maleficence wears off, the missile is going to connect onto Chalice. So FY gets out, but Chalice with the Blink Dagger able to escape. Can they chase him down here? The shards are going to be able to catch, and still the TP away, though. They're not quite getting him. He gets away.
Mid lane as well. Rezo, a lot of trouble. He's actually just going to go down. He gets killed on Jakiro, but man, and this whole time, where's Ame? Oh, he TP'd bottom because he didn't have the TP top. He haunted there. He's just shoving this lane now.
It's going to be like a 17-minute radius.
Yeah.
We were thinking that this was going to be VGJ Storm pushing the tempo, but LGD have just come in and shown that they can make it happen just as easily. And this DP is a huge problem consistently.
They look like, I hate to say it, I love VGJ, but right now, LGD is just playing on another level.
Well, they do find a kill here onto FY, it looks like, but the TP's coming in as well. There's no haunt for 5 seconds, but they could try and set up while they're defending this tower.
You don't need to. This tower is, like, meaningless in the grand scheme of things. Oh, blinking, that's an HOD creep.
Take it easy.
Yep. It's just the little wins all over
DP
the map.
Might be getting caught here.
This is scary for
He's going to go down, I think.
Completely out of position, and even though there's the Yule Scepter, they have the haunt, but can't afford to use it right there to try and take him down.
Step in the right direction. But will that really turn into anything of value? That DP didn't have ulti anyway. He's got it when he's alive.
They have medallions, so they could think about going towards Roche if they find another big pick-off.
They have to do something before the Spectre Radiance. He's already almost got it. Yep.
So that's 2 Helm of the Dominator catapults for them. So again, if they manage to win fights, they're going to be able to take buildings. But how do they win those fights?
Man, that's a good question.
Ame is just this. I honestly, if I were playing this game, I'm looking bottom right now. I see Ame farming with a relic at 15 minutes, and I'm scared. I'm really scared. They have the ability to kill him as this game continues, but they need to force a good fight around an item timing, and that's like kind of right now, because once that Spectre gets Radiance online with no pipe, you're in trouble. And he's just going to juke away. Yep.
Blink away by Chalice. His TP is out of there. Birds are pretty quick. Are they quick enough? Not quite there. They managed to TP out.
Really good play by Ame. Pressuring bottom, forcing reactions, which lets him safely farm his relic top.
He's just literally made VGJ chase him around the map for the last 5-6 minutes or so.
While never getting caught.
Yeah. And he's been aggressive at a couple of occasions as well.
And this is about to be that Radiance done.
And all of the haunts have been like convenient kills. Even if they're not the most impactful kills, it doesn't matter for Spectre. All you care about is accelerating your own timings.
Well, a very hard game right now for VGJ. LGD in a commanding lead, but hasn't been to the tune of taking a ton of objectives yet. There's only the one Tier 1 tower taken down bottom, but it does feel like that might start shifting very quickly now as they smoke up as 4, have haunt ready.
This is the fight that you want as VGJ with a pipe. Oh, either before Radiance or with a pipe, but you actually can't take this fight. And if you can't take fights against a Spectre lineup, the Naga,
17
DP,
minutes in,
how do you plan on closing out the game? Like this, they're in a real poor position. You can see they know their timings. You got a point booster on SVGs, like 2,000 from Ags. Rezo's like maybe a little bit. Oh, haunt in.
They get it right now. Already onto him. The Radiance just now complete. They turn onto 1, and they impale. Not quite there, but it doesn't matter. They still got him netted, and that is a dead resolution.
Therapist is going to
kill himself.
Oh my god.
Almost kills himself. They're actually not going to finish him off, though. That's like best case scenario for VGJ, I think.
When the best case scenario is losing your mid laner, that's not a good time.
And Helm down creep.
Ooh, looking for the stun. Not going to get it there. MSS, if he gets hit, he's going to back out.
Dive. Just casting spells. No big deal.
They got Blink Enigma now.
But they're just behind. They're behind a whole row of items, and the Spectre is accelerated.
Oh, Song to turn it, though, and now they've got eyes
he's
on
locked
it,
in.
too.
He's locked in on the DP.
They're going to be omitted. There's the combo immediately in. The Ice Path and Macro Pyre down. Didn't matter. It was a huge catastrophe, and now they find themselves another over by the Ancients. MSS wants to snowball. Can't snowball while you're rooted, though.
Yeah, this game has just been
it's all
near
LGD.
Flawless from LGD. Like this, they made VGJ chase them around the map, respond all over the place, and I just felt Ame just ping-ponging between top and bot. Whole game, top net worth, just... There's really no criticism that I have at the moment.
He's been like a puppet master almost for what VGJ's movements have been on the Spectre. And like, meanwhile, like the two teams we talked about, Rezo being the primary farming hero on the side of VGJ, while Ame is the opposite. In this game, they put Rezo against the Somnus in lane, and he is their active hero, and they've just been collapsing while simultaneously forcing their DP like upon them while shutting down Rezo at the same time. Like they've been forcing the issue and shutting down the key farmer on the side of VGJ, and they're making something happen here. Dust up on the Nyx, he's gonna go down.
And it's something we've said in the past, right? Where you look at the VGJ heroes, Enigma, Visage, Gyro, who's the one that's got to make plays? Who's the one that has to rotate? It's the Gyro. But as you said, Spectre's like level 7. He's level 4.
Yeah.
And when he goes top to push, it's like 11, 12 minutes into the game. He's not ahead. He's not helping his team out. Like, at any point, 6, 7 minutes into the game, he could have just connected mid if he has levels.
Yeah.
You grave chill the DP and you drop your ult on him. He's going to die, but he's just playing against this super aggro dual lane of Jakiro Nyx. It's just painful to lane against.
Yeah.
Super high HP heroes, resilient with mangoes. They just spam their spells on you, and they just stick in the lane.
And Coddle's not exactly the type of support that makes Gyro a stronger laner.
Yeah.
Oh, another haunt here
Haunts
as
on the
they
bounty
found
runes.
one, and it is going to be Enigma. He gets a bounty rune for his trouble. There is a shrine here, not activatable though, and Sneyking just going to die. So every time that haunt comes out, they're losing somebody. Meanwhile, they're going to try and push bottom. There's a chance that LGD could just think about going into Roche at any point. I don't know if you can really come and contest it.
If they have Medallion, maybe, but I don't think it's... You can only lose the game at Roche for LGD.
Okay.
There's no reason to take a huge fight in a choke point. Game's still relatively even, but again, there's a Spectre, and this is what I mean. Radiance Yasha, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
This is threatening. If this is a Hood Blade Mail, you're not on a clock. You don't feel bad. By the time he actually gets a Radiance, who cares? But when you get this free game and you're allowed to itemize just for acceleration only, this hero is just solves all the issues in the LGD
He took
draft.
the dagger cooldown on Spectre. That's interesting. Instead of the 8 all stats.
I guess being able to find people in the trees.
It might just
it's
be
a little weird.
might just be a farming
Yeah,
thing.
definitely. You farm significantly faster with Dagger Tool.
Aghanim's picked up for the Gyrocopter, so he has a farm accelerating item, but as we've always said, it's going to be tough if this gets to a late game Spectre situation. 3,000 gold up, pipe done for resolution. Do you need to make something happen right now with this, or do you have to keep waiting for like a BKB?
Yeah, you got to, considering how they itemized. A pipe on Rezo, Enigma rushing a blink. These items, like, you want to use your cooldowns ASAP. Make a move.
Enigma hasn't black hole, I don't think, a single time.
Nah, he hasn't.
It's too difficult.
But
Like, they have too much control. Like, not even committal control either. Like the net and the Nyx and Pales and Carapace.
I like what Sneyking does. I don't see many players do this for some reason, but he soul rings early every time because you get the mana for 10 seconds. There's no reason not to use it with, 7, 8 seconds left on your spell and just soul ring preemptively so it comes up faster. Don't just soul ring and then cast spell. It's less efficient.
I just accidentally hit Soul Ring and then move on with it.
I misclick, and then I'm like, wait, what ability can I use? So they have the Naga Ags is coming out, actually, which is honestly a great way to counteract the region of the Coddle. And heroes like Spectre don't naturally have a way to reset the fight in terms of regen, so that's going to be even harder for VGJ to storm to fight into.
It does definitely feel like right now if you're VGJ, you've got to keep the pressure on because, like you said, Naga Ags coming out. They just got the Blink Dagger on the Tusk, so he has some extra form of save. What that means as far as like how far they can actually push the tempo sort of up in the air. And right now, it feels as if LGD can kind of do whatever they want.
Look at the wards that LGD has on the map. You notice anything?
I like the lane
Let's
wards.
connect the dots, guys.
Yeah.
Where does this give them control?
Pretty good area of the map there.
And then Spectre's just a perfect hero for this type of game where he's just going to sit back on his side of the map while the rest of his team can still look to do things.
Yep.
Being able to show up at a fight from anywhere is pretty strong.
Manta finished. Critical item.
Oh, and the hard afterwards.
All right, well, here we go. The Manta about to be delivered, and they're smoked up to try and take a fight with this. They think that Roche is going on, but it's not. So maybe if they can get away, MSS just going to TP out. It's still so much damage. And with that extra Desolates, just blows them up.
Yeah, Spectre Illusion's getting Desolate, that pure damage. I mean, it's just 100 pure damage per volley of Illusions. Usually Illusions don't do all that much damage, but not on Spectre.
Still, though, for Haunt, just losing the Tusk there, that's not terrible.
It ain't good either, though.
Fair enough.
This isn't a game where I think is like acceptable for VGJ.
Okay, here's the thing though. You can theoretically still kill them and win a fight. It's like it's all the net worths on Spectre. So if you can kill the Spectre in the duration of your BKBs, the Dispersion obviously not dealing damage through spell immunity, that's how you can deal with him.
They don't have BKBs yet, though.
They do have Song available. FY just up on the high ground here, pretending to be an illusion. They don't think it's real, and he does have the ability to Song.
Oh
FY out of control, and with the xNova
Lining up
moving
the ice
in,
path.
they're going to get the Aegis. Now the turnaround. They got it onto both of them as well. Enigma going to get completely controlled, silent throughout this. Somnus just running a train.
Go down on Death Prophet.
Is he going to die to this? It's a lot of damage coming out there. They need to turn this back around with Chalice in the area. And Impale comes out. The black hole into two. Able to interrupt this one and take down yet another.
Okay. Yep. No Haunt. Even though they have Aegis, look how low Ame was. He had no mana to fight that out. Great job by VGJ. Even though the Roche goes down, you got to contest. An amazing setup by FY. They Nick-stunned 2 targets, though he missed the Visage.
Ice-Path the other
and
two.
Ice-Path the other 2. If he hits the Visage, though, I think they win that fight more convincingly because he was able to Grave Chill and then reposition.
They could just go here. There's
no
DPL, no Song,
It's
no
go
Haunt.
time. Do they have Axe?
They have a lot of stuff. They have
Almost,
Ags on the gyro, too, so extra damage coming in from him.
They have 2 Helm Doms and a pipe. I mean, obviously the Helm Doms don't stack, but they can take that catapult. And this is a tier 3 at least.
Lots of damage. The Spectre tries to go on SVG in the back lines of it, and Ice Path coming out as well from xNova. They try and focus him down now. The Walrus Punch is going to be able to connect, and xNova is dead. Can they take down any more here? Chalice by Carapace is already out. YawaR is very low, and he is going to get snowballed away towards the Spectre Illusion, but YawaR still very low and is going to die.
Yeah, stick, but he was probably dead anyway.
So with that, LGD's
don't even get the tier 3.
When Ame has mana and daggers, the game gets hard.
Oh, and he spiked Carapace's the Coddle so Ame can get the kill.
Yep.
And he's got a full
If they have Coddle Ags, they're taking that fight. Unfortunately, he was 300 gold away, and that's just because VGJ's early game just didn't go quite as well as they wanted, and I put that all on the Nyx pick. Like, that hero is near impossible for Coddle to play against in the lane. That also slowed down the Gyrocopter. Chalice also somehow ended up with, like, what, an 11-minute Blink Dagger?
Immediately made use of it, too.
Yeah.
So 4,000 net worth lead, but starting to get bigger and bigger issue is Ame, who is closing in on that heart now.
Other thing, keep in mind, I believe the Glyph, I think, was also critical in that last engagement, where it just... It slows pushes down so hard. They wait for the Visage Grave Chill, and then all of a sudden it's 6 seconds of invulnerability. Like that's a lot of time purchased, especially
4 bounty runes.
When you consider how low the buybacks are for these level 12 to 16 heroes. The big changeover, like they're under 50 seconds. Yeah. That fight was at Roche. So you're going to have a Jakiro alive. Yeah, he died, but that buys time for the Naga, the Nyx. Like, everyone's up already by the time that you're actually waiting out through that glyph and the travel time just to get from Roche to the tier 3.
They're smoked. Aegis Spectre has a Reaver. Double damage. That's got about 20 seconds left on it. Yeah. Haunt is level 3 as well, so it's only the 2-minute cooldown. He also has the... Oh, he took the dagger slow instead of the 500 health.
Okay. YawaR, though, running into trouble here. And he spots everybody. They're not quite going to get with the Ice Path, but the Impale is there for the follow-up, and he's just gone. Wow. Blinding Light couldn't get there in time. They silence MSS, going to lift him with the Yules, and they're ready to run inside of their base. Maybe does not care at all as they kill off that Tusk.
Is this the new Spectre build? Who needs stats? You just slow people every 8
I
seconds.
think it's just he's just so far ahead. You don't need to itemize that way when you're... I mean, as you say, you know, the best defense is a good offense, right? How are you a target if you're running around with Aegis Heart?
Yeah.
And like what you're more concerned about what happened at the Roche pit, where you're zoned from the fight due to maybe like lack of mana, or you know you were killing Roche, you have no ultimate, and all of a sudden you're not like you can be ignored. But with this talent itemization and his Manta Radiance Rush, like you can't ignore Ame in a fight.
Absolutely. I love the fact that he's going nullifier now too. That just means that honestly, any core that or any hero that's isolated on VGJ, other than maybe Tusk, is just gonna die the second he haunts on top of them.
On this day, he's been like spamming dagger off cooldown, using shrines whenever they're off cooldown. I think this may be the play.
And it's why I'm assuming he went for the Treads build as well with the Aquila. You just get that mana regen, you can swap it out there and make so much more use of it.
It's a new way to play Spectre as a hard farmer in terms of just maxing dagger talents and running around the map.
I mean, you don't get him till
looks pretty. I'm just saying, it looks pretty fast. Like
yeah.
compared to a lot of these carries.
But do keep in mind, 6K net worth advantage for LGD. All of that is Spectre, and BKBs remove his damage.
Yeah.
You can then stand in a little ball, ignore the AoE of LGD, and like that's it. You don't take the desolate damage. You just kind of hang out. The only thing I'd be concerned about is that Song into Nick stun is un-BKBable if the timing is right. You spawn inside the stun. It's a frame. The BKB and the stun are the same frame, but something about the way Dota registers ticks or whatever means that certain abilities will go off and stun you before BKB, and Nick stun is one of them.
Mechanics with Kyle.
It's happening.
FY, okay.
Jumps in the Song there.
God,
they got him all caught. Chalice is going to be there. He's able to kill up the courier at the start of as well. Ice Path on two. Only two of them. They get the BKBs off on both of them there. Could be a little bit of an opening here for them as Chalice is going to be isolated. They black hole nothing. They don't get anybody there.
Oh, no.
The turn back in. Ame is on top of all of them. Dispersion's going to be doing a ton. A triple kill already for Somnus. And YawaR also likely to fall. Godlike Ame.
And just for the record, Ice Path is BKBable, if that fight did not demonstrate it.
For the viewers out there, Kyle did not know that.
Yes,
just saw that.
yes, he did. That's why I don't like Yules on Jakiro that much, because
they can always BKB
yeah.
out.
I like you a lot more as follow-up versus trying to create your own. And I like xNova's idea build. You max, you just get that Ghost Scepter. You don't fear Visage anymore when you get Grave Chilled. And
yeah, just don't die.
I think that's just game,
yeah.
Straight up.
And I mean, you know, you can look at that black hole and say, oh, God, you know, black hole, missed lol, or whatever you want to say in Twitch chat or whatever. But to me, at least, if the strategy is dependent upon him hitting a huge black hole for you to be able to win a fight, that's a problem.
Well, the problem with a hero like Spectre against Enigma is Spectre creates a ton of chaos.
Right.
There's so much going on. Enigma, it's hard enough as it is to time and land that BKB, or that black hole. He also has to do it in his BKB, otherwise he's going to get disabled, and he'd already popped it because of the Song initiation. And I mean, he even got the Nyx, but that's one thing I love about the Spectre pick against this Enigma, is that it makes it very difficult to just reliably say, I'm in a black hole now. Not a hero that presents itself in a traditional way as a carrier that just like walks into the fight.
So we're talking about all these talents. We're talking about the Spectre hero that's starting to look pretty freaking good this game. Is it just because it's the other heroes that VGJ Storm took, or is it good independent of that, do you guys think? Are we seeing more Spectre going forward?
I think it was just a really good Spectre game.
Okay.
They had to answer the Coddle and the Enigma, and Spectre does that. I think that the way LGD plays is predicated upon these three tanky cores that they can play around. Ame having a hero that's naturally high survivability and elusive with the ability to scale is like that's what he seems to thrive with. You know, the PLs, Spectres, Slark. I point to the maybe Death Prophet. He puts way too much pressure out with that hero. I don't know if any other hero from that mid lane can do what he continues to do as Death Prophet.
I was going to say that I think the Death Prophet's the problem.
Yules BKB at what, like 14, 15 minutes it feels like every game? Like, what do you do? How do you stop him? Like,
no hero in the game does enough damage to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not saying the Spectre pick wasn't really good. I'm just saying that if I'm to take away a lesson from this game on VGJ Storm, please just ban the Death Prophet.
Yeah. Because I think that even, I mean, if you remove the Enigma, right, just, you know, give it some standard offlaner.
Yeah.
That's what makes the Spectre very strong. But LGD can do this with Ame playing one of like 4 different heroes. If he's the Slark that's banned, the Morphling, the PL, the game is going to have the same results.
And they're just messing with YawaR right now. They do drop down the Midnight Pulse as well, but Somnus running forward. He does not care at all, and Spectre haunts into all the mess as well. The snowball save, not terrible, but they're going deeper in towards their own base and being chased down by all these heroes. BKB, no!
What a bait. You see Ame Manta there? baits in Sneyking and then just runs out of the base.
Oh no, the black
wow.
hole was casted and canceled, and now they're all gonna die. A double kill for Ame, another snowball, but to no avail. Inside the base, GG is called as LGD win game number 1.
That's
a stomp.
That's the LGD that I think we expected to see in the group stage, and they are on point. And I think it was right after DAC. You know, we're talking about how this is a Chinese year for TI.
Hey.
I think you have a front runner